Your sales culture sucks. Your corporate sales culture sucks. Your small business sales culture sucks. The people selling your services, the culture within them sucks right now. You see, if you're dealing with that problem right now, you're at the right channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Here's the deal. Corporate sales culture is not adapting as fast as the changing market. You see, how we sell today is not how we sold even 5 years ago, even 3 years ago. The shift is taking place dramatically. The great resignation is taking place. The war on talent is taking place. And your sales culture is what's going to hold your sales team together. It's what's going to improve bottom line revenue. Now, here's 4 signs that you're dealing with a toxic sales culture. Number 1, if you find yourself justifying turnovers often, you have a culture issue. You see, having to sell the reason that someone left the company is a clear sign that you have issues. Sales professionals are leaving companies, and they're leaving companies because of the culture. How you speak about someone when they leave says more about the sales culture than it does about the person leaving. Sales reps turnover at about a 34% rate every year. If you have millennial sales reps, they're interviewing with another company at least every other year. Watch how you speak about your turnovers. That impacts culture. Another area that's a sign of toxic culture is the only innovation within your company is coming from the top down. You see, great ideas come from everyone, and innovation should be a company-wide goal. Your salespeople are on the front line. They're the first people to in the battle. They're the first people to see the successes and failures of interacting with customers. They're interacting with prospects. And if they aren't bringing you innovative ideas, that's a telltale sign that they aren't comfortable bringing up innovative ideas. They feel they won't be heard. They feel no action will take place. That's a sign that your sales culture may be toxic. Another area that would be a sign that your sales culture is toxic and it's in alignment with the innovation is anyone speaking up. No one is allowed to speak up when they disagree with the direction of sales leadership. Let's be honest here. We're always going to have challenges and we're not always going to agree with the direction our company goes in. But if your sales reps don't feel comfortable speaking up, that's a sign of culture issues. They could speak up for anything from a lack of product development to changes in the compensation plan to the way COVID has been handled. Your sales reps should feel comfortable to speak up. If you develop a sales force that is timid to speak up, then eventually you're going to be found with a bunch of yes men and yes women. If someone's not speaking up to you, that's a clear sign your sales culture is missing something. The 4th area, that's a sign of a toxic sales culture. If your sales rep no longer brags about your sales culture, just point blank, then you don't have a sales culture. If you're part of something that is exciting or a winning team, then you'll be speaking about it often and loudly. I've seen great large organizations change from the best sales culture to having to justify why the sales culture has changed. Think about this. If you have the best kept secret in the world, you should be talking about it. If your sales culture is the best thing about your organization, then the sales reps should be talking about it. And if they're not, that's a clear sign that there's a culture issue. Now, we can't just bring up problems without solution on the Catapulting Commission Sales blog. Couple solutions here. Number 1, senior management in your organization, whether it's corporate or small business. The senior management for that organization must acknowledge that there's a cultural problem. You see, the shift in culture happened on your watch. Whether you were there or not, the moment you become the senior leader, it's on your watch. Now, you must acknowledge this issue. Now, common signs that there's an issue from senior leadership to acknowledge here is there a constant change taking place in senior leadership? If so, it's almost impossible to build culture for the long term. So solution number 1, acknowledge you have a culture issue, look for solutions. The second solution, develop transparency with the sales team. You see, the days of managing from the high and mighty corporate line or leading from the ivory tower of founder-led organizations isn't the answer anymore. This is a time to develop a relationship built on transparency and trust. This is in all areas of business normally. However, with your sales reps, if your sales reps don't trust the direction of your company, then you don't have culture. And likewise, if you don't trust the intention of your sales reps, then you don't have culture. So if you're the sales rep or the sales leader, You have to develop that, and that's a two-way responsibility. The other solution, create a safe environment for your sales reps. They should be allowed to voice concerns. You should be able, as a sales leader, to acknowledge those concerns. And once you have a disagreement, acknowledge the concerns and move forward. The challenge with sales culture right now is if somebody questions the direction of sales leadership, are they safe? Are they going to be retaliated against? We always talk about there's no retaliation in corporate America, but the truth of reality is that's not real. If you're labeling somebody as negative, if you're labeling somebody as toxic because they speak up, that is eventually going to impact the rest of your sales culture. So to eliminate the toxicity or lack of sales culture, create that safe environment. Allow your reps to feel comfortable to come to you with concerns. As a sales leader, you should embrace the difficult conversations, the challenges and the obstacles, because when those take place, not only are you as a leader growing, but you're developing somebody in your organization. And that's the best of both worlds. And finally, to improve culture in your sales environment, DVG, development, vision, and gratitude. Now here's development. We need to change the way we develop sales reps. We can't develop sales reps specifically for our self-serving need. This comes in the form of a future or a future development program. This is where we're bringing high-performing sales reps and teaching them the ways of management. That is one part of development, and that's how you get the next level of leaders in your organization. However, doing that alone doesn't build culture. Building culture is developing somebody for the greater good of that person without an ulterior motive. You see, if you're only developing people for the ulterior motive of growing within your company, that's a toxic imbalance. That is going to cause issues. So when you develop somebody, develop them in areas that are important to their life. Acknowledging the time they work with you is a vehicle to get what they want out of life. So if you develop them in things that are long-lasting wealth-building development projects, investments, stocks, real estate, continuing education. Develop them in time management so they can spend more time at their home. Develop them in college savings so they can have a plan put together for their children in the future. You see, development isn't just developing for our needs. It's developing them for their needs. That improves culture. Vision, incredibly simple. If your sales force can't see the vision of your company and can't see how they can impact it, there is no vision. You see, either you're selling your vision to your sales force or someone else is selling their vision to them. And that's how you get turnover. You see, vision goes both ways. The sales rep has to see themselves growing in the company. And as the sales leader, you have to find yourself building that visionary dream with the salesperson in front of you. You should see a continued growth path for both people, the sales leader and the sales rep. The final place, gratitude. Development, vision, gratitude. Of the three, gratitude, I would argue, is the most important. We spoke about this several years ago on the Catapulting Commission Sales blog. To express a level of gratitude to those in your organization will go a long way. We are now seeing companies not express gratitude. Listen, being on a sales force is challenging work. Over the past 3 years, you have dealt with various challenges with COVID, remote working, a new way of selling. If you're the leader, take a moment and express that level of gratitude. Because if you're not expressing the level of gratitude, somebody else is. And to express gratitude as a leader, it should be a scheduled task that takes place on a consistent basis. Now, I understand the concerns here. You may manage a large sales force. You may have middle management that's supposed to express gratitude. When you are the leader of an organization, you are the leader of a team, of a 10-person team, 50-person team, 100-person team. The way you express gratitude is obviously going to change. However, there is power, a lot of power, in the 2-minute, 3-minute phone call, in the 1-line, 2-line email, in the voice memo that's sent to somebody. You see, you as a senior leader can record a 2-minute, 90-second voice memo and send it out to the sales reps individualized, thanking them for their contributions. And when reps have a difficult time, thanking them for their hard work and encouraging them to move to the next level, encouraging them that the next month or the next quarter or the next year will be better. You see, when you express gratitude to people, people will want to stay and they're going to want to build that supporting culture we're talking about. After all, we all know sales culture is 100% the reason people stay and grow with the company or people leave. That's what I got for you this week. If you found value in today's video, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next week.